So, reading is an important skill. You learn a lot. It's basically condensing years of hard work, experiences, trials into like a 400 or 500 page book, right? I think it's well worth it for the time. But what I've, noticed from reading 50 books probably in the past year is that there's really two types of reading. There's passive reading and there's active reading. And I kind of made those terms up, but you'll understand what I mean in the moment, right? So for me, passive reading kind of means reading for fun, right? Or actually, let me rephrase that. It means reading more to read and not really to implement. And so I've done this, a lot, right? This is how I kind of started reading. It's how I, went from someone who hated reading to someone who loves reading, right? I now read during school even sometimes. But passive reading is basically reading a book just to read. So not implementing really any of the things you learn, just having it, done and completed. So I did this almost all of last year because I wanted to get the highest number of pages logged in my class, which is a very egotistical thing to do. And it also didn't serve me at all because I don't remember much of what I learned. Obviously, some of the books I've reread since then, so I know what they were talking about. But, when you're reading for that reason, you're not going to absorb much information because that's not really the main point. The main point is just to show that you can, I don't know, stay on task for a few minutes, right? So this type of reading really did not help me that much. Obviously, it increases your willpower, your discipline, and all that, but you really don't retain much of the information, which makes the money you spent not worth it at all. Because all you're getting is a lesson on discipline. You're just practicing that. Um, but yeah, that's passive reading. The other type, which I've just kind of learned to do this past, I don't know, few months, is where you're focusing on what you're reading, but you're also implementing what you read. So if you're reading a book on discipline, you start keeping a log and you start tracking how many times you stay disciplined throughout the day or, something else, right? And I really learned this from Alex Hermosi, who said that if you learn something but don't implement it, you're not really learning. You're just, I don't know, not doing anything really. And this is the type of reading that, builds you the life you want, I think. So far, it's really helped me. For example, one of the books I've read, I forget what the David Goggins book. I forget what it's called, but it inspired me to do cross country this year. And I've done it the past 3 years, but I was going to quit this year, and I didn't because of that book. It taught me to, finish what I started even when I'm feeling tired or, lazy or bored. And I've learned a bunch of cool tricks from that book, like the cookie jar. Whenever you're feeling so tired, you don't feel like you can go on, you just grab in your cookie jar, and the cookies are just past experiences that you've overcome a challenge, right? So that I think has helped me a lot. But yeah, learning to read actively and actively implementing what you're learning has been, a wonderful experience, right? I can feel, I think I can see the progress that I've made through reading, even though, I don't know, a lot of people would not want to read. I mean, it is kind of hard work staying on task all the time, but once you do it enough, it just becomes part of your day, right? It's like working out or literally anything harder than scrolling, right? It takes some time to get used to, but the more you do it, the easier it gets, like a lot of things. Um, so yeah, active reading has really helped me a lot. I even bought this Kaizen Challenge notebook. I'm not sponsored, by the way. I just like their stuff. And basically, what it is it keeps you accountable, right? So it has, let me see, it has like a list of, it has like a checklist. It has some wins that you can write down. basically you reflect upon your day in a way that's kind of built for self improvement. And yeah, it also has like words and knowledge that keep you accountable. There's a daily quote, and I really like doing it both at night because it's a nice way to end the day with like either lessons you've learned or things you've done well, or in the morning, and it motivates you to stay disciplined, stay, happy throughout the day because you do share things you're grateful for as well. And writing down things I'm grateful for basically always makes me happy. So, yeah, active. I don't know. That wasn't really part of the active reading or writing, but if you stayed around, thank you. Yeah, that's really it. If you're going to read nonfiction books, if you're going to read anything like self help or, yeah, basically anything like that, try to practice implementing what you're learning. So if you're reading a business book, do something for your business that propels it forward. Or if you're reading, a fat loss book or something, I don't really know. Just do something from that book. Maybe each chapter, write something down that you can implement and, start, right? You don't have to do everything all at once. You can make small changes over time, but it's something that can really help you out, especially when, like me, if you haven't really read that way before, until a few months ago or whatever, right? So that's your homework. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in next one. I don't know. Like the video if you want.